Destined 1, secrets can be found everywhere in Black Myth Wukong, even in the snowy tundras high atop the mountains. My name is Zodiac, this is Legacy Gaming, and today we're continuing our series and helping you hunt down the biggest and best secrets of Chapter 3 in Black Myth Wukong. We'll start with one of my favorite secrets in this entire chapter. Remember that stranger we talked to in a hut on a hill back in Chapter 2? No, you don't? You probably should go check out our Chapter 2 Secrets video then. Anyways, once you defeat Ginseng Loong, the lightning dragon, you'll be attacked by the Macau chief and end up in the Pagoda realm. While I curse this place with every breath I take, there's actually some pretty neat secrets here. Come to find out, that voice from the hut is actually the third rat prince of Flowing Sand, and he's been imprisoned in the Pagoda realm. Sadly, he's trapped behind a magically sealed door, which means we'll need to complete a few steps before we can rescue him. First, we'll need to defeat Captain Lotus Vision. This boss can be found shortly after the Upper Pagoda Keeper Shrine and is one of the more interesting encounters in this area. Once defeated, you'll claim the spirit of Captain Vision Lotus, the item required to break the magical seals found throughout this zone. Unfortunately, the Rat Prince has a task for you to complete before he'll part with his secrets. He'll ask us to reclaim the 4 lost spirits of his captains, and this will take us across a few different parts of Chapter 3. The second captain, remember Lotus Vision was technically the first, is Wise Voice, and it can be found at the top of the Pagoda realm, right across the bridge from the Mani Wheel Keeper Shrine. You can't miss this boss as it's blocking your progression in the chapter, so eventually you won't have a choice but to defeat it. The third captain is Void Illusion, and luckily you won't have to fight it, you'll just need to locate its corpse. This will take you quite a while as the body can be found near the Longevity Road Keeper Shrine. Looking at the shrine, head into the snow to the right and keep trudging until you reach the mountains which act as your barrier. Follow the wall until you eventually find this massive body, interact with it, and claim the spirit. The final captain can be found outside of New Thunderclap Temple, again, blocking your path to progression. I don't even know what you would really call these creations, but they're certainly strange, so defeat them without remorse, and let's get our reward. With the 4th Captain Spirit obtained, we can return to the 3rd Rat Prince, and after a short cinematic, you'll receive your reward, the Chu-Bai Spearhead Crafting Material. Now check this out, the Chu-Bai Spear is just that, a spear, and doesn't have the same moveset as all of the staves you've used up until this point. In fact, it has a completely different set of animations, and when using the thrust stance, you even get increased damage. Talk about a complete game changer, this weapon is truly an awesome secret. But wait, it gets even better because you'll also receive the Ashen Slumber spell, which allows you to transform into one of those 2-headed rats from Chapter 2. I used this for a hot minute and really enjoyed the damage it dealt with its blade. Now on top of that, you can also hold down heavy attack to shoot out a jet of sustained flame, which is pretty epic. Since we had to clear multiple parts of Chapter 3 just to finish that quest, we need to take a step back and return to Turtle Island. The next secret is part of a longer questline that involves the Long Dragons. We talk about it a bit in the Secrets of Chapter 2 video, but we also have a full breakdown already on the channel, which I highly recommend you check out. Now for the purposes of this Chapter 3 Secrets video though, let's cover all the bases. So long as you have the Long Scales obtained in Chapter 2, you'll be able to head away from the Keeper Shrine on Turtle Island and approach this dragon statue. With the Long Scales in your possession, the statue will come alive, and you'll be able to fight Cyan Loong. This fight blends dragon abilities with that of a duelist, and Loong will use both claw and sword to try and cut you down to size. Once defeated, you'll be able to claim the Mountain Shaking Claw, a legendary crafting material needed for a much larger prize. With Cyan defeated, we can head to the north shore of Bitter Lake Keeper Shrine. Turn around and start heading towards the shacks in the distance. Veer left and head into the water to be confronted by Chen Loong. A boss battle will ensue, and after some of the fights you've had up until this point, this should feel relatively simple. Once you defeat Chen, go ahead and rest and then return to the area, and you'll be able to talk to him on the shore. He'll mention how much pain he's in and that Zhu Dog, the NPC you meet in Chapter 2, might have something to cure his ailment. With this information in hand, you can head back to the Cellar Keeper Shrine in Crouching Tiger Temple and return to Zhu Dog. Instead of crafting, use the Talk command until he gives you a special-made bone strengthening pellet. With the medicine in hand, you can head back to the north shore of the Bitter Lake and return to Chen Loong. At this point, a cutscene will roll, Loong will be gone, and you'll have yourself a magical scroll. This scroll will transport you to a secret location, Zodiac Village, and it's here you'll notice that all the key NPCs you've met during your journey are here. At this point you'll see Zhu Dog, Chen Monkey, and Chen Loong. Each of them continues to offer their standard services, but some have added enhanced capabilities. Zhu Dog will now have an option called Request Medicine, where you can simply ask for a free sample of random medicines he creates. Chen won't offer you anything new functionally as far as I can tell, but his store does expand with a few additional items once he arrives in Zodiac Village. Finally, there's Chen Loong, a master botanist. If you picked up any seeds along the way, you can deliver them to him and begin to harvest plants without the need to roam around the world. There's one more reason why Zodiac Village is such a massive deal, and that's because of Yin Tiger, an NPC that resides at the back of the zone. There you can craft weapons and armor, but more importantly, upgrade armor. This is huge because it completely transforms the way we think about armor in this game. By using resources found throughout the game, you can upgrade your sets of gear that might have a bonus that matches better with your playstyle. Of course, it does require you to have the materials to upgrade your gear, and that includes will, which is something you might have to farm for, but this is huge. Reaching Yin also gives you the ability to expand your Curios from 2 to 3, which, believe me, is also big. Finally, Yin has a challenge option, and believe me when I say taking him head-on in a boss battle is no joke. If you defeat him, you'll be rewarded with Ebon Flow, a new transformation spell. You essentially get a truncated version of his moveset, and while the transformation isn't nearly as nimble as the actual boss, it's still an incredible spell to wield. Back on the north shore of the Bitter Lake, there's another secret we need to uncover. From the Keeper Shrine, head to the right and along the coast. If you're heading in the right direction, you'll see a giant snake skeleton. Approach the head and you'll be attacked by the Aprama Bat, a boss version of an enemy you might be familiar with. Defeating it allows you to safely interact with the head of the giant snake, thus triggering a cinematic. Lore-wise, there's something going on between the turtle and the snake, but I genuinely have no clue. Either way, you'll see a green tear fall to the ground, and if you head back to the Keeper Shrine and walk towards the water underneath the turtle, you can pick up the Turtle Tear Soak. This might be one of the most powerful soaks in the game, granting you mana instead of health whenever you chug your gourd while at full health. Mana is such a restrictive resource in this game, and this is a fantastic way to get around that limitation while also raising your DPS potential. Chapter 3 is also home to a new spell, but first, we need to complete a multi-step quest. From the north shore of the Bitter Lake, head away from the shrine and towards those shacks we visited before. This time, head to the right and follow the path until you reach a house. There, you'll see a man being attacked by some enemies. Cut them down to size and talk to the man. He'll tell you he's a treasure hunter in search of a secret location known only to Buddha. While you're here, turn left and a short distance away, make sure to grab the legendary Blue Bridge Romance Drink found near the hut. When used, your gourd will recover 40% maximum health and moderately increase your movement speed, plus it has 3 soak spots. It's a really solid option for anybody at this point. From here, you'll want to travel to the Forest of Felicity Keeper Shrine. Follow the main path through the small archway and keep following it through the first big archway. Keep going, and right before you reach the second archway, turn left and head downhill. At the bottom, you'll reach the Towers of Kurama Keeper Shrine. If you're not already using it, equip Ring of Fire. Turn away from the Keeper Shrine, and a short distance away is the Treasure Hunter. Casting Ring of Fire will trigger a cinematic, providing him some relief from the cold. Exhaust his dialogue, and then you can safely travel back to the Forest of Felicity. This time we'll head to the right of the archway and immediately head downhill. Keep following the path until you reach a body of water. Run across it until you reach the other side by the brazier. Jump down and keep descending until you reach the very bottom. There you can pick up the Melonfield Keeper Shrine. Head into the cave and a cinematic will roll, and the treasure hunter will reveal his deception. A boss fight will ensue, and I don't know about you, but my computer did not like this fight. Lots of fire and particle effects, and my rig just was not having it. That being said, I muddled through, and once defeated, a cutscene will play and Buddha will teleport you to his secret melon field. While there, you'll be granted Spellbinder, which is a powerful spell that buffs your attack damage considerably, but prevents you from using any of your spells, spirits, or vessels while active. This is very straightforward, tailored towards players that just want to whack things with a stick, and it can be made even better by allocating some sparks into its skill tree. With your new spell in hand, head back to the Forest of Felicity Keeper Shrine. There you'll see a body slumped in front of the archway. Interact with it and you'll be able to communicate with the spirit of a snow fox. After a short cutscene, you'll actually turn into the fox yourself. The goal is to reach the fox's master somewhere within New Thunderclap Temple, but if you get hit, you will break form. Luckily, you also get an on-use item that will transform you right back. The NPC we're looking for is Non-Void, and he's found on the uppermost left side of the temple. If you're climbing a ton of stairs, you're going the right direction. Reach him and turn yourself into the fox to trigger a cinematic and the ensuing boss battle. Non-Void uses a lot of trickery to avoid your attack, so keep the pressure on. Eventually he'll fall and you can claim his spirit, giving you a more defensive option, which some might find interesting. At this point, head back to the Forest of Felicity and the body you first communicated with. Interact with it and you'll receive the Snow Fox Brush Curio, which increases the duration of your transformation spells. There's one small area near the Tower of Kurama Keeper Shrine that I want to call your attention to. If you travel to this location and then head left, you'll eventually reach a small clearing. There you'll see a number of plants that you can uproot, and all of them are decoys. Clear the enemies on the outskirts first and then pull the central route, and a boss will spawn named Old Ginseng Guai. And while he's not exactly tough, it's interesting how many things you get as a reward for defeating such a lowly boss. Once defeated, you'll be granted the Millennium Ginseng Seed, which you can deliver to Chen Loong in Zodiac Village, giving you access to new farmable materials. You also receive the Old Ginseng Guai Spirit, which, when equipped, moderately increases the health of summoned minions. On use, the spirit summons a Ginseng Lings, which aids you in combat for a short period of time. You also receive the Ginseng Cape, which has 48 defense, 8 chill resistance, and when equipped, increases your maximum stamina after using a gourd. Finally, before leaving this area, you can head behind the tower and pick up Jade Essence, arguably the most potent drink in the game, not only granting you 36% health back, but also a moderate amount of mana. This is a game changer during progression and one of the simplest ways to restore mana during combat. Now, a quick little secret here, inside New Thunderclap Temple are a number of lesser bosses, but within the halls on the right side of the temple is the Monk from the Sea. Man, screw this guy and his tentacles and ice attacks because it took me a minute to defeat him. But once you do, you get the Hoarfrost transformation, which puts those abilities directly in your hand. I used Hoarfrost throughout all of Chapter 4 and I love this transformation, so go kill the boss and reap the rewards. The final major secret in Chapter 3 is really just a precursor to something much, much bigger. At the Snow-Veiled Trail Keeper Shrine, you'll want to head away from the shrine and head to the right of this area. Cross the bridge and make your way up the hill and you'll reach the Great Pagoda. Without saying too much, this location is at the epicenter of the game's secret ending and requires further progression to utilize. If you're curious, there are other videos and guides already out there revealing the secret ending, but of course, if you want us to cover that, leave us a comment down below. So there you have it, the major secrets of Chapter 3. As always, if you think there's something else we should have talked about, leave a comment down below and share your knowledge with the community. And remember, these items are best when found during progression, not at the end of the game. So if you're looking for a real edge in combat, you'll want to take a step off the beaten trail. Guys, if you like our Black Myth Wukong secret series and you want us to continue into Chapter 4 and beyond, drop us a like and consider subscribing. We'll have more coming your way, and you definitely don't want to miss a thing. My name is Zodiac, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.